Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense, where we're cutting through the spine and the shine and light on the stories of mainstream once buried. Making sense out of the senseless right here on SHR Media, conservative media done and right. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and tonight we're hitting several big stories that are being twisted, manipulated, ignored entirely. Buckle up, because tonight we're bringing you truth versus narrative. And tonight it's all about facts that the powerful hope you will ignore. So how is everybody doing tonight? It is Friday, May the 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. on the right coast, 6 p.m. on the left coast. Oh, boy, it's going to be a weird weekend. I want to get some stuff done, but I bet you I don't get to half the stuff I want to get done. My daughter will distract me and keep me from getting the stuff done. I know it. That's what's good about having kids. You can blame them. It's always their fault. Always their fault. Oh, don't forget, if you want to join the chat, whether you want to tell me to piss off or agree or have your voice heard, just jump onto YouTube, go to SHR Media, and join the conversation. It's live. The software I use, it's hard to keep up with. Not hard to keep up, it just doesn't connect to several of the streams chat, like X. It doesn't link up with that. So unfortunately, I can't link up with X's chat, and trying to watch multiple screens and do the show at the same time can be a little daunting. Oh, man. Hopefully BZ's doing good. He's on his way to a great expo. And basically on Bigfoot. So hopefully we'll have some good stories when he comes back. Oh, breaking news. I hate these people that put up breaking news, and it's Democrats' nonprofit Act Blue officials have declined to testify before Congress. That was like a week ago. Kind of on a slow start there, guy. Let's see. Okay, let's get to our notes. We found out that Biden admin targeted Americans on domestic extremist watch list. So let's kick off this chilling story that's not getting the coverage it deserves. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, just confirmed something straight out of dystopian thriller. The Biden administration put Americans on a domestic terrorist watch list. You know, we had to have gone out there and made some really huge threats against the country. You know, threatening people's lives. It had to be something like that. It had to be. But we're going to find out exactly what it was.
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. That when you look at the language of these documents that I've declassified, first, the strategic implementation plan of the Biden administration's designation of potential violent domestic extremists, it really talks about people who may likely turn out to be domestic violent extremists, or those who may likely turn to violence because of these specific quote unquote ideologies that they hold. And there's a consistent thread through here that these ideologies that they are designating as turning into potentially violent activities or being manifested in violent activities happen to be those of people who were using their First Amendment rights to oppose certain policies of the Biden administration. And while some of the examples that are focused on there have to do with those who opposed the COVID vaccine mandates, those who opposed the mask mandates, parents who were concerned that their children...
Wait a minute. Tell me I didn't hear that right. We were put on list. Now, I don't know if I'm on there. We as a nation were put on a domestic terrorist watch list for disagreeing with our government over COVID and the way it was being dealt with, the overreach of the government. And the left accuses us of being fascist, authoritarian, told all the other goddamn words they love to throw around that they don't know half the definitions to. But they're okay that if I use my First Amendment right to disagree with my government with COVID. And now remember, a lot of those things that we were told were conspiracy theories turned out to be true. I'm supposed to blindly listen to the government, and especially when it comes to the Democrats. No. The Republicans lie too. Let me tell you something. Yes, the Republicans lie, and I'm not going to doubt that. I'm not going to argue that fact. I'm going to concede that fact. But the Democrats, they're worse than anybody else out there. They would lie about their mother dying if they thought they could score political points. And we're going to get into a lot of stories where they're pushing a lot of disinformation. But this one is really sad that we have a government that's putting us on a watch list simply because we disagree. All right, let's get back.
Children going to school may be forcibly vaccinated with the COVID vaccine without the consent or awareness of parents. The list goes on, but it's not exclusive to this. In some of these reports that we've declassified, it shows that people who were opposed to Biden's border policy, for example, could therefore have propensities to join a militia or could become these domestic violent extremists that we're talking about here. And again, it's important to look at this in the totality and the sequence of how this happened. These documents were issued in December of 2021. You remember very well, Will, the speech, the ominous speech that President Biden gave in 2022, where with this red background and Marines standing in the background, he issued an address to the nation warning the American people that Donald J. Trump and MAGA Republicans pose a direct threat to the fabric of our republic. And then you put that together with how the FBI and others within the Biden administration directed social media companies to censor Americans and undermine our First Amendment rights because, of course, the social media companies don't want to be in a position to support the spread of domestic violent extremism. So when you look at all of these things together, you understand at its core the thing that I committed to the American people to root out, which is the weaponization and politicization of the intelligence community and national security state against the American people.
This was the Biden administration, the most transparent and most trusted administration. This is also the same administration that went after people that would disagree with school boards. Remember, the FBI was targeting people underneath Merrick Garland's order? What really blows my mind is the people on the left that so blindly just, I was told that the right is the fascist, and that's what you guys are, you're Nazis. But when you look at the fact, that is exactly what the fucking Democrats were doing. So when you start spewing that shit to me in post or wherever, you lose credibility with me right off the bat. Good evening, James Harbin. Welcome. How come you didn't show up there? Hang on, I thought I did that. There we are. Welcome to the show, Joe. James or Jim, do you go by? And everybody, jump in the chat. Don't forget to jump in the chat, people. Join the conversation. Get your voice heard. I that's part of this show is I want to get the voice of the people out there. Nice to meet you, Jim. I am Jersey Joe, and I am really glad you're here. Oh, it is getting ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So it blows my mind. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. I never thought whether left or right would so blindly follow government officials like that. I know you're going to accuse me of being a cult. You're going to blindly follow. No, I don't. I disagree with Trump on quite a few items. And I will voice those. I have no problem. And when he's wrong, if I think he's wrong, I will call him out. I think he's wrong on the Greenland. I think he's wrong on Canada with the whole 51 state stuff. I think it's a waste of energy, whether it's a troll or he's being serious. I personally don't want to see Canada as a state because that'd be like adding another California to the country. It's really that simple. And according to Gabbard, government documents she declassified show that the administration flagged parents, vaccine skeptics, and those who oppose mask mandates as potential threats. Your First Amendment rights got you labeled a domestic extremist. And listen, this is not a bash on police, but I see it a lot with police. You use your constitutional right, and they try to think that is suspicious. Whether it's videotaping an encounter, not answering questions, which you have every constitutional right to do, they find that suspicious. And not all police, I'm not going to label them all, but that's the type of stuff that gives law enforcement bad name. And as she said, and I quote, people who are using their First Amendment rights to oppose certain policies of Biden administration, those who oppose the COVID vaccine mandates, those who oppose the mask mandates. Let me explain something. I'm going to jump off subject, off of what she was saying. And one of the things I looked at when and I don't remember all the exact measurements, so I'm not going to get into that. People can Google that. You can chat GPT it or Grok it. The size of the COVID molecule was smaller than the mask that they had out there and telling us to wear. And what that means is there's actually a mesh size when it comes to these masks that blocks out. That's how it blocks out the viruses and so forth going in the air. And the COVID size was smaller than the openings, which means that it was just going through these masks and it wasn't stopping. It'd be like trying to stop Niagara Falls with pantyhose. Not go up to fishnet stockings. That's more realistic to the size. It would just flow right through it. And that's what it was doing. You seen people taking fucking shirts and wrapping around. That ain't doing nothing. Hell, that shirt ain't even going to block out a goddamn fart. But they acted like it was doing something. It was all a big smoke screen for fear factor. That's all it was. Just a big smoke screen to make people feel better when they sat there and told how bad this is. Now we're finding out that the death toll wasn't as high as they said it was. I think it's like 40% less, 49 or something like that. Because what happened is people were dying of other things, but they had COVID when they died. So they died of COVID. He got shot in the head. Wait, he had COVID, died of COVID. Massive heart attack. Oh, don't worry, COVID. And it threw fear throughout this country that's still felt to this day. It's unbelievable. And it's unbelievable that our government did this. And if this doesn't shake you to your core, I don't know what will. Now, what's worse is when I post shorts on this will get taken down by TikTok because I am speaking negatively about COVID. And what's funny is you got a bunch of idiots at TikTok that have no medical knowledge at all. I spent 20 years plus working in the emergency field. COVID was dangerous, yes. When it first came out, it was really dangerous. It was dangerous to the elderly and the young. Shit, I had COVID 3 times. Never went to the doctor a single goddamn time for it. How do I know? You had the home test. Ooh. Felt like I had the flu. That was it. A couple of days of feeling like shit. And went on. There's people that died of COVID, and I know that. But when you jam a bunch of sick people together like they were, well, what's going to happen? The government found out that they could throw this country into fear and take full control of us, and they've been trying to do it ever since then. Last midterm, you heard, oh no, we're going to have another epidemic coming out. This past election, oh no, this bug is coming and it's going to be deadly. Democrats found out that they can control the country through fear of a virus. And we allowed it. Not all of us. And those of us that argued against it, spoke up against it, were put on goddamn government list. I don't care I'm on the list. Fuck the government. I'm not doing anything illegal, so I have no fear. Now, if Hillary was in charge, yeah. If Kamala was in charge, yeah. If Biden was still, well, he was never in charge. Whoever was in charge of the auto pen, yeah, I'd be a little bit fearful still. I don't think Trump's going to come after me for speaking my mind about COVID. With that, it's that time for a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Ever dream of escaping the daily grind? At Escapist Travel and Tours, we make those dreams your reality. From breathtaking adventures to cultural immersions, we offer escapes tailored just for you. Let us take you to places where every moment feels like a new chapter in your life's adventure. Visit www.escapist.travel or call us today at 1-855-585-81776. Your escape awaits.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
What is the Edge of Liberty? News, politics, commentary, sarcasm, alcohol, and high blood pressure. It's as American as a good revolution. So tune in every Monday and Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and KLRN Radio. For details, visit www.shrmedia.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Please, I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe.
And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, here to make sense out of the senseless, right here on SHRmedia.com, conservative media done right. And you can watch the show through X, Rumble, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. If you want to join the conversation, you can go to youtube.com, search SHR. That's all, folks. Search SHR Media and jump in the conversation. You can also go to shrmedia.com, and at the bottom of the page is a live broadcast of all of our shows when we are live. Oh, we're going to switch up gears and jump on to a different conversation now. In this one, and I know the liberal media is not going to touch this story because this goes against everything that they talk about. So let's talk about a Boston case that should be on the every front page. And an illegal immigrant was not only voting illegally, but scammed the American taxpayers out of over $400,000. That's close to $500,000 in benefits. This is what happens when systems are ignored, borders are open, and enforcement is political. And this isn't a one-off. Across the country, similar frauds are unfolding quietly under the radar. In Texas, a non-citizen voted in multiple elections while receiving housing assistance and SNAP. But wait, I seem to remember a certain Democrat the other night giving a speech saying that there is no illegal immigrants on Medicaid or any federal assistance. In California, millions in improper Medicaid and unemployment payments were made to individuals who weren't even eligible. California admits that they have illegal immigrants on Medicaid. But yet the Democrats are going to run out there. That California is admitting it. And these aren't errors. They're consequences of willful neglect and open door policies. And here's the kicker. These cases rarely get prosecuted to the fullest extent. Why? Because shining too bright a light on this fraud might shatter the narrative that our immigration and welfare system are working as intended. When we sit there and look and we have Doge going in there and talking about how there's fraud going on and the Democrats freak out, this is the fraud that they're talking about. And it's not one or two cases. This is happening thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times. The Democrats just gaslight you and tell you it's not happening. Because they think you are fucking dumb. You are just going to sit back and listen to what they have to say and go on from there, your life. Because they'll go out there banging, they're going, oh, the Republicans hate the poor. We love the poor. No, they don't. Politicians love themselves. They love the power. And they do everything they can to consolidate more power. Let's talk prevention. Voter ID laws are a no-brainer. They protect the legitimacy of the vote while deterring fraud. We had Democrats saying, oh, it's illegal for illegal immigrants to vote in our federal elections. We put laws in. They fight against it. Oh, that's not right. You can't have those laws. Then they sit there and try to tell you that minorities are too stupid to go get an ID. They sit there and tell you that blacks don't have the knowledge or the ability to go get an ID. Hispanics are too dumb. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know how to get it. They're too dumb to have a birth certificate. They're too dumb to find a birth certificate. And it just keeps going on. And I can't understand how people sit there. Oh, yeah, the minorities. Yeah. They can't get that. Quick change of subject as the panel puts. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It's all free, and Joe will be happy. Yes, I will. We are sitting at 484. Our goal is to hit 500 subscribers. That is 16 people away. That's 16 people just hitting a little button. It's free. You don't even have to get notifications. But you can watch some really great shows. Of course, like the Reaver Common Sense, hosted by me, Jersey Joe. The Edge of Liberty, hosted by Sackhead Sean. Oh, God. I always mess the names up, so let me pull them up. Because I got the brain of a leaky ship. Oh. BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, hosted by BZ himself. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. on the left coast. Edge of Liberty is Mondays and Wednesday, 11 p.m., 9 p.m. on the West Coast. And we have Mission Ready Men with Big Earl. He is on, I believe, noon Eastern. And we have other shows that we are lining up, contract signings, getting our ducks in a line. I mean, those damn ducks never stay in a damn row, and trying to keep them all going in one way. But we're working on it. And we got a big interview coming on this show. I'm just waiting for confirmation on date and time before I announce the guest. It's amazed me. I was able to land this interview, and I will have fun with it. Now we're going to go back. Let's see if I can get back into this without totally screwing up. We were talking about the left claims these laws disenfranchise, but ask the average American if showing ID is reasonable, and the answer is clear. If you want to go to a DNC, you have to show your ID. If you want to go to most of the things that the Democrats do, you have to show an ID. But to vote, oh, no, we can't have that. But if you're going to go into their backyard, you have to show an ID. Seems kind of hypocritical to me to require one but not the other. I don't know. But this fraud case up in Boston is a Colombian woman living illegally in Boston for 20 years under a stolen identity, voted in the 2024 election, and improperly received, as I said, $400,000 in federal benefits, has been charged. She's 59 years old, who allegedly applied for a U.S. state passport and obtained a Massachusetts Real ID and 8 other state IDs, according to federal indictment. For the passport, she claimed to be a U.S. citizen who was born in Puerto Rico. After obtaining her voter registration in 2023, she was captured on surveillance cameras at a bank wearing "I voted" sticker on November 5th, 2024, Election Day. The charges against her are numerous, according to a statement released by the U.S. Attorney Office for the District of Massachusetts. She was charged in a superseding indictment with 1 count false representation of a Social Security number, 1 count of making false statement in an application for a United States passport, 1 count of aggravated identity theft, 3 counts of receiving stolen government money or property, 1 count of fraudulent voter registration, and 1 count of fraudulent voting. But the Democrats say this never happens. Now, one thing you got to understand when it comes to illegal immigration, they talk about taxes and all that are being paid. How do they pay taxes? It's not just on the stuff they buy. They're paying taxes through their employment because they buy stolen identities. And who's the biggest purveyor of stolen identities? The cartels. The Democrats just have been protecting the cartels. I don't know why. But when you're allowing open borders and cartels to be paid shitload of money, so they're making millions and millions of dollars flooding people over the border. And on top of it, they're forcing these people to carry drugs with them. And then they sell stolen identities. That's a big problem in this country, stolen identities. And the Democrats are sitting there with their thumb up their ass and don't give a shit. But then they sit there, oh, there's nothing we can do about the open border. We need new laws. We get a new president and he enforces the laws that we currently have, and the border gets secure. I know that doesn't mean it's going to shut it down 100%. I know that. It is amazing how out of touch the Democrats are with what's going on in this country. They have lost their mind. At least this, let me make sure I got the right. Sorry, going through my notes. There we are. Now let's get to the next one. And this one, I am shocked because this was being brought up by a former Biden diplomat. Let's listen to the video and then we will discuss.
Just heard the alleged killer saying "Free Palestine." We hear that on the streets. We hear that on college campuses. And there are a lot of people who have been worried that that has been turned into a call to arms and a call to action and violence.
Yes.
Others claim that it's not. What do you think now that we have seen this?
I think there's no question, whatever its initial intent and whatever people were saying initially or meant it has become a call for violence, and not violence against Israelis, which is wrong, but violence against Jews. And anybody who tries to separate the two and try to say, I'm just against Palestine, I'm just, against Israel's policies in Palestine or in Gaza, and I'm not anti-Semitic. This was anti-Semitism, pure and simple.
For those that don't know, 2 Israel embassy workers were shot and killed in D.C. The person that was arrested for it screamed, "Free Palestine." Here's a little tidbit that came out. The guy's father was an invitee by the Democrat Party. I think it was for Trump's inauguration. This guy has connections to the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party's like, "Oh, we're so sorry." Your rhetoric. You're allowing these protests to happen at these colleges. Not protests. I shouldn't say that, because protests, yes, are allowed. But these violent acts that are allowed to happen. This hate speech is allowed to be spewed. And this is not just like, okay, I don't like you, hate speech. This is calling out for genocide of a people. Democrats love throwing that word out there when it comes to Israel defending itself, but they never use it against Palestine and what they're doing. They have a saying, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And that is wiping out all Jews, not just the Jews that live in Israel, all Jews. That would include my wife and my daughter, because they are from descendants of Jewish people. That would include my in-laws. As much as we differ in political ideology, I would not want to see any harm come to them just because of their religious ideology. The Democrats have promoted, grown, and been complicit in these murders. From the shooting of a CEO of a healthcare, the Democrats have cheered it. Assassination attempt on a president, the left has cheered it. The murder of 2 Israel embassy workers, let me get that straight, and the left cheers. But the Republicans are the violent ones.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Ever dream of escaping the daily grind? At Escapist Travel and Tours, we make those dreams your reality. From breathtaking adventures to cultural immersions, we offer escapes tailored just for you. Let us take you to places where every moment feels like a new chapter in your life's adventure. Visit www.escapist.travel or call us today at 1-855-585-81776. Your escape awaits.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
What is the Edge of Liberty? News, politics, commentary, sarcasm, alcohol, and high blood pressure. It's as American as a good revolution. So tune in every Monday and Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and ALRN Radio. For details, visit www.shrmedia.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joan, here to make sense out of the senseless right here on SHR Media. Conservative media done right. You can listen to the show, shrmedia.com. You can go to YouTube, look up SHR Media. You can join the conversation, jump in the chat. Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, X. We're all over the place, and we're growing. And if anybody could, I would really appreciate it. We're so close to the 500 mark on YouTube. It throws us into a different category once we hit 500. It's free. You just hit the subscribe button, and that's it. It takes a lot of poll time from BZ and his bobosity to get that free to you guys. Don't let that poll work from BZ be in waste. Oh, man. It's Friday night. I can't believe it's Friday already. Holy shit. Notice as you get older, just time rips by a lot faster. All right, we're going to jump subjects again. It's probably going to take us to the end. Maybe we'll have time for one more. Tell you what, we're going to do this one real quick. Media gaslighting 101. If gaslighting, and let's be honest, were an Olympic sport, the mainstream media would take home the gold. This week, it's not just spin, it's a complete denial. Let's break down multiple examples from different networks that show how the public is being misled. Start with CNN's recent statement where they now claim they never told viewers to trust the experts. Remember that. They're saying that they never told the viewers about COVID to trust the experts. That's where I wish I had like an echoing effect. Experts, experts, experts. Roll back to the 2020 coverage, and it's plastered everywhere on banners and interviews, even in the anchor's repeated catchphrase. That's not just spin, that's rewriting the past. Next, NBC ran a segment blaming rising grocery prices on unseasonal weather patterns. Not inflation, not policy, weather. Meanwhile, every economic indicator shows core inflation is stubbornly high, and food producers are pointing directly to fuel and regulatory cost. Over at ABC, a reporter claimed that vaccine hesitancy is entirely due to social media misinformation. What they didn't mention, peer-reviewed studies showing complications like myocarditis in younger men, a fact that independent outlets and some doctors warn about as early as 2021, and people were deplatformed for saying so. Now, just broken out is that Biden's administration knew that these vaccines were causing myocarditis and did not let anyone know. That was a side effect. Now, come on, people. You've read the side effects. I mean, it goes from everything from anal bleaching to diarrhea to you might sneeze a couple of times, but they're not going to tell you about myocarditis. Why didn't they want you to know about myocarditis? Because you wouldn't have taken the vaccine. You wouldn't have taken all the boosters. I know that would have changed my mind. Yes, I did take the vaccine, and I've explained it. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and back then I was, I had insurance back then, and I was taking a immunosuppressants, which had me a little bit susceptible. So my doctor recommended just based on that. He wasn't pushing it, but he was, for me, he said that was, for what he knew with everything, was worth the risk. If I'd have known about some of these other side effects, I would have never taken it. I would have fought against my family taking it. And that's why they never told the American people. Our government needs to be sued. Pfizer, all these pharmaceuticals need to be sued for endangering our lives, knowing that there is serious side effects, and they didn't let us know. And ABC sits there and was lying to us and making accusations. And now they sit back going, what? We didn't do anything wrong. And let's not forget NPR running a puff piece, minimizing concerns over voter ID laws, stating they disproportionately affect marginalized communities. That was buried at the bottom. A new poll showing that over 70% of Americans, including majority of minorities, support voter ID. What's going on? This isn't journalism. It's narrative protection. And while corporate media spins for clicks and control, independent voices are showing how the sausage really gets made with receipts. And we just watched our president do that the other night with South African president being there. He made an accusation and he backed it up with video. And now you have the media going out there. He showed no proof. He showed no proof. Again, insulting the intelligence of the American people. I know we could be dumb in masses, but we're not that dumb. And this isn't just misinformation. It's psychological warfare. And we'll continue to name names and hold them accountable. Jake Tapper. Trying to act dumb about his misrepresentation, disinformation, lying about Biden, attacking Laura Trump when she told the truth. And now he's trying to act like he's this great champion of journalism because he's finally speaking out. Where were you when we needed you to speak out? Well, let's be honest. If gaslighting were an Olympic sport, the mainstream media would be taking home gold constantly. This week, it's not just spin. It's a complete denial. From the sudden walk back of trusty experts to blame economical pain on the weather, we'll keep looking at the worst offenders. This isn't just misinformation, people. It's psychological warfare. And one of the things that they've been doing with misrepresentation, the big, beautiful bill just passed. And what do you hear all the Democrats doing? They're running out there. Oh, it's getting passed that dead of night. They had to pass it in dead of night. They don't even know what's in the bill. Millions are going to get kicked off health insurance. Millions are going to lose health insurance. We can't have that. I would never do that. Really? For number one, I seem to remember a certain bill getting passed in the middle of the night. And when people ask what's in it, what do we hear? For those that don't know, that is Nancy Pelosi. She shoved Obamacare in the dead of night through the House, told the people, if you want to know what's in the bill, it has to get passed. And how many millions and millions of people lost their health care as Democrats laughed about it? They thought it was funny. Healthcare is destroyed right now. Nobody can freaking afford healthcare. Even if you have a health insurance policy, chances are you're going to be paying massive out of pocket because of Obamacare. And they're going to sit there and try to make comments. Why? Because some people, yes, are going to lose Medicaid. Yes. We've talked about it. It's been brought up. And I'm not denying they will. And the misrepresentation of facts out there is just disgusting. Why are people going to lose Medicaid under this bill? Let's break it down. It removes millions of illegal immigrants who were never legally eligible for Medicaid in the first place. Democrats allowed that loophole, and this bill finally closes it. Think about that. Look at California. They openly admit that they allow illegal immigrants. Number two, and these are just three of why. But these are the ones that the Democrats got their numbers from. Number two is it adds a work requirement. That work requirement is only 80 hours per month for able-bodied adults. If you could work but refuse to, yes, you'll lose your benefits. That's not punishment. That's accountability. But there is exemptions. Schools, rehab, if you have kids. So yes, like one woman was saying on one of the comments, oh, stay-at-home moms are going to get screwed. No, they're not. That is an exemption. There is caveats in there. It's for those 30-something-year-olds, 20-something-year-olds that are sitting in mommy and daddy's basement playing video games and smoking and don't want to get a job. They think they should be given free health care so that they can play fucking video games. Now, I'm a video game advocate. I love my video games. EverQuest, World of Warcraft, love it. But jobs come first. Let me tell you something. I'm going through disability, and I've talked about this. I've been open about it. I was on Medicaid at one point. We lost eligibility. My wife was back to work. My daughter was over 18. COVID had ended. We lost Medicaid. That's fine. Never bitched. It's done. It's over with. We can't afford health care through my wife's work. Disability takes forever. It is what it is. But we keep going on. Someone that's sitting in their basement because they don't want to work, that is fully able to work, is different from those that can. And I have no problem. Medicaid's there to help people in need. I've said it before and I said it again, and I'll keep saying it because I got accused by a family member of hiding this type of information and being a hypocrite because I don't want people abusing the system. It's there to help people, but it's not there for people who are just being lazy. It also requires Medicaid eligibility checks every 6 months instead of once a year. Just make sure that you're eligible, because people will become eligible, go back to work and stay on it and not notify the government and get benefits for a year. Does help ensure people still qualify, but those who ignore or skip the process because they don't want to fill the paperwork out, well, they're going to lose coverage due to noncompliance. That's where these numbers are coming from that the Democrats are out there yammering about and trying to protect. Illegal immigrants, those who can work that refuse to, and those that don't want to fill out paperwork. That's the Democrat argument. Why they fought against it. That is waste and fraud right there. And the Democrats fight for it. That is illegal immigrants, criminals. And the Democrats fight for it. Now, one last thing I want to talk about with the bill is the Social Security aspect. Because there's a lot of disinformation going on. We got no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime. Sorry about that. On the big, beautiful bill. No taxes on Social Security. Now you had the retirees that are flipping out, pissed off, saying that Trump screwed them over. No, he didn't. Because they had to go through, budget reconciliation. They could not put in and change the tax law on Social Security because of the Byrd rule. So they're like, bullshit. They could have nuked. They could have done. No, they couldn't. The rules prohibit it. Plain and simple. The rules prohibit it. Now, what they also don't realize is there's 2 bills in committees right now to eliminate taxes on Social Security. 2 bills are in committee. Now, what our Senate and the House needs to do is get those bills through, passed, well, not just passed, but put up for vote. We'll get it past the House, most likely. The Senate is where the endangerment comes, because you need a 60 vote to pass in the Senate. We don't have, we got 53, 54 senators. So we would need Democrats to jump over the line. And the Democrats aren't going to do that. They're not going to give a win to Trump. They're pissed right now. Some new polling came out. Number one, he's at like 55%. Number two, with the Democrat Party, his numbers are up 5% on approval. I mean, it's still below 50% of Democrats approve of him, but he's up 5%. That's a big jump. You have a lot of networks that are telling their people to back down on an anti-Trump rhetoric. The View just got smacked down and told to knock it off, or they're going to get canceled. People are getting tired of the anti-Trump rhetoric. They're waking up and seeing that this administration is trying to do what's best for the American people. The Democrats are just obstructing. They're just fighting them every step. And that's not what our government's supposed to be. And unfortunately, I just ran out of time. But the Medicaid meltdown is just the hypocrisy that's going through. But the same party that gave us, if you like your doctor, you can keep it bullshit, is now trying to claim the moral high ground as emergency Medicaid expansion from the pandemic begins to sunset. States are merely returning to pre-COVID eligibility standards. That's another reason people are losing their coverage. But I didn't get through a lot. Holy shit. But now it's your turn. Which of these stories hit the hardest? Social Security tax finally ending? Can we ever trust the media again? And how many more illegal fraudsters are out there milking the system? Maybe you're a parent who spoke up at a school board meeting and now wonders if you've been labeled a threat. Maybe you're a retiree tired of being taxed twice. Maybe you just want the truth, raw and unfiltered. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the live chat. Tag me on X at Jersey Joe Talks. Speak your mind. We don't screen out dissidents here. We welcome it. Because real conversations requires real voices. And if you like what we're doing, bringing you facts without the fluff, challenging narratives, and holding the powerful accountable, please share the show. Tell a friend. Post it. Email it. This movement grows because of you. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat tonight. I didn't get to a lot of the chat, and I apologize. But I want to thank everybody that was listening tonight. You could have been anywhere. You're here listening to me, and I always appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's get to 500 as soon as we can. We're so close. 484. Until next time, this is Jersey Joe reminding you, Reaver Common Sense. Making common sense out of the senseless. Only here on SHR Media. Conservative media done right. See you Monday, 9 p.m.